This conference will now be recorded.
So team, we've been discussing about the weight, right? So synchronization. If you want to avoid application and Selenium synchronization issue, you have to apply weights for your code. So how to apply team? How to apply? We have a different ways. So from Java, we have thread.zip. Don't use this thread.zip always. This is thread.zip is a static wait. If you say 10 seconds, it will wait 10 seconds. If you say 20 seconds, it will stay 20 seconds. So recommend is use Selenium weights. All the Selenium weights are dynamic weight. So we have an implicit weight, explicit weight, and fluid weight, set script timeout, page load timeout, right? So what is implicit weight team? So implicit weight, it is a weight from timeout interface. Inside timeout interface, there is a methods of implicitly wait, page load timeout, set script timeout. How to call this implicitly wait? On top of driver object, call manage method returns options on top of options, right? Call timeouts returns timeouts interface reference. Inside timeouts interface, we have a methods of implicitly wait, page load timeout, set script timeout. Use implicitly wait to pass parameter. So here it is asking two parameters. One is number, another one is time units. You can use seconds, minutes, milliseconds, right? And then explicitly wait. Explicitly wait and or here we are calling a WebDriver wait. Remember thing, explicitly wait and WebDriver wait. So what is the syntax of explicitly waiting? So there is a class called WebDriver wait in Selenium. We have to create object of WebDriver wait. WebDriver wait reference is called new WebDriver wait. For WebDriver wait, it is asking parameter of what? Driver reference, and number. How many seconds here you have to wait here. This is default. What is this one? Default seconds. Here, whatever you are mentioning the number, that is considering as seconds. Like implicitly wait, you cannot give milliseconds, another type like hours, minutes. Here you can apply only seconds. And explicitly wait. Observing why it is calling as explicitly wait. If you want to apply a wait for a single element, if you want to apply wait for a single element and use explicitly wait. Explicitly, it will wait for a particular element. So what is the difference between implicit wait and explicit wait? Implicit wait is apply for entire your all the elements. That's why we are what is the where we have to use this implicit wait after launching browser, right? So after launching browser, use implicit wait. Where we have to use this explicit wait? Where we have to use this explicit waiting? Here, whenever you want to apply a special condition, whenever you want to wait for a special element, there use this implicitly wait. Sorry, explicitly wait. Explicitly, you are waiting you are waiting for a particular element, so on so particular time. Observe, if you're using implicitly wait and explicitly wait here, so first initially observe here team, see in this example I am using implicit wait and explicit wait, yes or no? So these implicit wait, it is apply for entire your find elements. You can say it as apply entire find element. By the time of finding element, my implicit wait stop for element 120 up to 120 seconds. After 120 seconds, you will get exception. If it is a no such element exception, any other exception. And here, remember, if the element is identified below 120 seconds, remaining time is skipped by Selenium. Here and again, I am using WebDriver wait or explicit wait. So this WebDriver or wait or explicitly wait, it can apply for only single element, right? It can apply only for single element. So again, if I am using driver.find element after this WebDriver wait, here let's say here also I am using driver.find element. Here what wait will apply to you from this onwards? Again, your implicit wait will apply. Clear? Remember, so always your implicit weight apply for entire your find element method. If you are using explicit weight, you are using explicitly for that particular element. After 1 hour, again it is applying for implicit weight. Clear? And people are recommending to don't use WebDriver weight and implicit weight, but better to maintain at least 10 to 20 seconds after launching browser implicit weight. That is the recommended thing. Okay, and that's part about the weight. And even if you want to use, you can use page load timeout. Here again in timeouts we have a page load timeouts. Again the parameter is number of units and the time unit. You can mention any time units here. If it's consider if you are page loading taking so much time, you can use this page load timeout. Supply a second. Let's consider it is taking after clicking some operation. It is my page is taking 10 more than 10 seconds to load. Here you can apply 15 to 20 seconds. Clear? That's what about implicit waiting. So by this one, implicit weight and explicit weight condition, we have covered major concepts in Selenium. We have covered major concepts in Selenium. Now it's good to start test engine. No worries, we will cover again all the concepts on top of test engine. We'll cover briefly all the concepts in test engine. Right? So what is the test engine? Anyone? We have discussed at the time of manual testing concepts. What is the test engine? Test engine. Anyone? Okay, no worries. So unit testing. What is the unit testing team? Unit testing. Anyone? By the time of developing code, developer will develop code bits and pieces, right? So, and by the time of implementation code, first they will verify whether the code is working fine or not. For that, they are doing testing. What the testing team? Unit testing. Who will do this one? Developers. So by using what? By using tools called, by using software called unit testing framework. Unit testing framework. So what are these unit testing frameworks team? TestNG, and we have a TestNG, JUnit, NUnit. So we have a different of unit testing framework, and the most famous one is TestNG and JUnit. TestNG is the most powerful unit testing framework team. So you can ask the questions. So you are saying that this is used by developers. Then what is the purpose of using testers? Here even we can run our test cases. So the developers also run their test cases by unit testing framework. Even testers also can run their test cases by using this unit testing framework. One of the unit testing framework is TestNG. Yeah, TestNG, it is a powerful unit testing framework. It's a powerful framework. Nothing but it's a collection of packages team. You can say API. Framework is nothing but collection of packages. You can consider like that. It's a collection of packages and classes, interfaces, methods. Okay. So TestNG has some beautiful features. So by using this TestNG, you can manage your test cases. What we can do, team? Can manage test cases. So how we can manage test cases? We'll discuss. Okay, and it having the plenty of features TestNG. So we'll discuss one by one. Okay, now here let me directly go to my Eclipse. Here, mm, here let me create a package. We give package name. Here package name is testng dev. Okay, that is my package. Let me create a class here. Let me create a class. My class name is test. I can say testng test. Testng test. See in this class here. So if I want to write anything, first of all, what I have to do team? Inside a class, if I want to implement a code, what I have to do initially? Either I have to create a main method or else I have to create my own method. Yes or no? Already we know it. So I have to take a main method because main method having a memory. If you want to execute a program, first of all, you should have a memory. For that, we are taking main method help, right? Here, this is a code. Let's say this is a code. Yesterday we have seen example to log in into what? So Harmon Audio application. Already we know it, right? So this is the code team. Here, observe, we have to take main method. Already we know it. If you run this program, so you can log in into Harmon Audio application. So here I want to maintain my own method like this. So this is a test case of, I can say, Harman Audio login. This is a Harman Audio login test case. See here, entire the code I will maintain here in this. This is my method. This is my method. Now I want to maintain different methods like this. So usually people will maintain one method for one test case or test scenario. Okay. Now this time, how to execute this my own test case team here? If I want to execute my own test cases, what I have to do here? You can ping me in chat. Now I want to execute this my login Harman Audio login test. How to execute? So if I want to log in, if I want to execute these my test cases, obviously I have to create object like this. Class name, let's say this is object equals to new constructor, right? So after that, call this method, particular method by using this object reference. Now this time you can execute, right? Now here, so here, so if I want to maintain like this, if I want to maintain n number of test cases here, let's consider I'm having 100 test cases. So if I'm having 100 test cases like this, I have to call each and every method. Yes or no? Object reference was test case 1, object reference was test case 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 up to 100. Clear? And moreover, what if I maintain test cases in different classes? Here again, I have to create object for different classes, and I have to call with that class object reference. Yes, sir. And for that, to avoid this entire thing, so we will use testng. We will use testng. Observe team. Here, I no need of main method. I no need of create an object. I no need of calling that particular method by using this object reference. If you're having a testng, simply you can execute your method by using a simple annotation. So what is that annotation team? So we have a annotations in testng. So you can mention like this. So one of the annotation is @ annotation. test, test, nothing but you are saying or you are conveying this method is one test case. Clear? This is the annotation. In testng, we have a one of the features. One of the good feature is annotations. So on that annotation, the first one is what team at the test annotation. So what is the use of this at the test? This is considering as if you want to consider one method into one test case. How to consider this one? By using address test. We'll see it. See here. If you want to convey this is one test case, here, first of all, you should have install test engine. First of all, in your Eclipse, you should have a installed test engine. How to install it here? See here. How to install? This is installation process. Let's discuss. See here. First of all, if you are having Eclipse updated version, so here you can observe one option called help. So go to the help. So in that help, here you can observe one Eclipse marketplace. Help under help Eclipse marketplace. Here is just like a Play Store in your application. So what are the application you can use? So inside your mobile that you can download from your Play Store, right? Here also, if I want to use TestNG. So this is like a Play Store for my Eclipse. From this marketplace, nothing but marketplace is like Play Store. On this marketplace, I can download my TestNG. Here you can test here. You can set TestNG. TST test capital N capital G. Search here. Taking a few seconds, team. See here. TestNG for Eclipse. Are you able to observe? Here I have an option called installed. If your Eclipse it is not installed, and you will get option called install. Already I have installed, that's why I am getting installed option. Right? For you it will get install. Click on the install and it will ask you to next and some certificate confirmation, accept a confirmation and install. It will take a few seconds. Within a few seconds your Eclipse will restart, and after restart and you are good to use SNG. Clear, team? How to install? So go to help. After that, Eclipse marketplace. After that, search test engine using keyword what? TEST capital NG. It is the test engine. Okay, and then install, right? And then accept, and then it will restart your Eclipse. That's it. Simple team. Simple and straightforward. Okay. Go to marketplace, go to Eclipse marketplace. Under Eclipse marketplace, search test engine. Right after searching, after entering this one, click on the search button and it will give you test engine. Now you will get an option called install. Click on install. It will take few seconds. After a few seconds, so it will ask confirmation. SSS install. And after installing, it will ask you to restart your Eclipse. Now you're good to use your test engine. Clear? After installation process, so here use option called test engine. Here, observe here, if I mention here and the position here, you have to use above your method. This is the position you have to use your annotation. Observe here, it is giving me error. So if I move cursor to the error, it is giving me options like add JUnit, add test engine. Inbuilt in Eclipse, you are having a JUnit, but you have to add test engine. Now, what the unit testing we are going to use, team? testng, right? So here, so go to this error, add testng library. Nothing but like Selenium library, we have to add testng library. So when you will get this option, whenever you install testng, that time you will get this option, add testng library. Now it is asking me to, if you want to add testng library for your project, click on this add testng library. And I'm clicking this one. Here, observe team, inside my project, as of now, I'm having JRE and SRC and reference libraries. These are all coming from where? These are all coming from Selenium team. We have added Selenium library. That's why we are having these. Yes or no? Reference library from Selenium, SRC or packages, JRE from Java. Now add testng to your project. Observe key. Now I got testng. These are all jar files coming from where? Testng. Now I have added testng. After adding this one, just import this testng, just like a class. And we are, if you want to use other packages classes, you have to input it, right? Already we know it. If you want to use another package class into your package, first of all, you have to import it. Yes, sir. Now import this at the testng. Import from where? Import test org testng annotations. This is a package thing. This is a package at the test coming from testng. Now import this testng. Clear? Can I repeat the steps? First of all, install testng, go to help, Eclipse Marketplace, search testng, install, accept, restart Eclipse. And then after that, mention above your method at the rate test, capital TT, at the rate test. After that, add testng library. So if you add testng library, you will get testng library for your project along with JRE and your source code SRC folder and reference library, nothing but Selenium jar file. Now you will get testng library. Now after that, mention at the rate test. So at the rate test for your method, and now import from where team? Import from org.testng annotations. This is the package team. Clear? Now observe. So I have imported. Now I can say and testng converting my method, my own method into one test case. Now observing. This time I am able to execute my entire test case without main method, without creating object, without calling method. Okay. Run as testng. Browser got launched. URL entered. Maximize entering username, password, log. Clearly, by using testng, what we can do, we can convert our own methods into one test case by using what? A special annotation from testng. What is the annotation? At the rate test. If you are saying at the rate test, this is one test case. Clear? Observe. After executing a test case from testng, you will get the output like this. See, one test case. It is considering test case. Test case got passed, right? So default test. How many total runs? Test one test case. How many failures? 0. How many skips? 0. So this is the overall reporting. And this is considering test case. After executing, it will give you a simple report. How many test cases you are executing? Nothing but how many tests you are executed, how many failures, how many skips, overall report. Clear? And you can consider each and every at-the-rate test, it's a one test case, and it is acting like a one more, it is acting like a main method. So internally the implementation is same thing. Internally the implementation is from Java only. TestNG implemented on top of Java. So you can consider each and every method as a one main method. You don't need to allocate memory when you don't need to deallocate memory. Program itself, it can manage the memory for each and every test case, memory for each and every method. Now, from now onwards, don't use main method. From now onwards, use your own method. Now onwards, use at-the-rate test. And add TestNG library and use at-the-rate test. Like this, you can maintain any number of test cases or any number of at-the-rate tests. Harmonic test 2 like this, and harmonic test 3. Let me give 3 this one. Let me give 2 this one. Let me give 1 this one. Okay, team. So after that, let me call this quit method, because so you have to call quit method, team. Otherwise, your system may get overloaded because all the browsers is open inside, right? So you have to call quit method after your browser launch up or your test. Observe. In a single class, you can maintain any number of test cases. Now this time program is consider each and every method as a one test cases, because we are using annotation called at-the-rate test from where team test engine. This is the first one, login, quit, and now second one starting. Login, quit, and third one starting. Login, quit. Right? Now observe here. The test cases. Harmony audio login test 1, harmony audio login test 2, 3. Now observe here. Report. Login test 1, pass, 2, pass, 3, pass. Observe here. Order run 3, order run 3, failure 0, skips 0. Observe here. So in this code, we are doing so much wrong here. So what is the wrong here? See, we are using duplicate code again and again, and we are hard coding these values. So in coming classes, we should not pass these values directly. See, username. We have to pass this username from Excel file or text file, any file. Suppose today I'm executing from this username. Maybe tomorrow I have to use one more name. So for every time, you should not do like this. Coming to here, changing Murli to Michael, changing Michael to Adam. You should not do like this. If you have to place your entire data into somewhere in sense either Excel file or test file or property file. From there onwards, you have to read your data. That is a good practice. You should not change. You should not touch your code again and again, and your code should not be duplicate. Clear? Clear? And so along at the test, we have a few more annotations. Let's discuss these annotations. See here inside my day one. Let me create one more class. My class name is first test. This is first test. Right here, let me create a method called public void tc1. This is my test case one. As of now, I don't want to maintain any code. Just as of now, just maintaining system.out.println. Test advanced with villain. This is a test case 1, or you can say simple number test case 1. How to convert this into one test case team? So how to execute my test case this time? You can give me in chat. How to execute this test case? Commenting. Good, very good. So if I want to use my method as a test case, if I want to execute from now onward, don't use main method. So just use annotations. Now I have added TestNG library to my project. Now I can use annotations. What is the annotation team? To convey one method into one test case at the rate capital T test. So this is one more class set. Again, I have to import it. So import TestNG, sorry, test from org.stng.annotations. This is one test. So like this, I can maintain any number of address tests inside a single class. Right? This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5. So let me use single numbers. 1, third test case, fourth test case, fifth test case. See here. So if I execute this, if I want to execute this one, how to execute it? Right click, run as. Now this time you will get, if you add at the test annotations, if you add at the test annotation, you will get run as testng test. Now this is a testng class. Earlier we are executing how team run as Java application. When you will get a run as Java application, if your class having a main method, then only you will get a run as Java application. Here my class don't having a main method. Now this time I don't get run as Java application. From now onwards I will get run as testng. Now click on run as testng. It will execute test cases one by one. Test case 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Clearing now, and it will testng will execute your test cases alphanumeric order. It will consider and it will execute your test cases alphanumeric order. First is first. Here the number 1 is right. Here first test case first. And here, so by using testng, we can manage test cases. Here my use case is I want to execute fifth test case first. What is the execution order here, team? You can observe by output. Test case 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the priority 1 to 5. Now I want to execute my fifth test case first. I don't want to execute first test case first. I want to execute my fifth test case. For that, you can having a separate keyword here. So what is the keyword here, team? So you can apply for my test as a priority order. So here priority equals to consider 1. Here I can say priority equals to 1. Right? See, if I am supplying priority equals to 1, my fifth test case will execute. So after that, so priority equal to give like this. So with 1, 2, sorry, like this. So fifth test case first time, and then first is second, and this is third, this is fourth, this is fifth. I'm setting priority order for my each and every test case because I don't want to execute first test case first. I want to execute my fifth test case here first. Now observe this time order, team. Observe this time order. Earlier test case got executed 1 to 5. Now observe, this time 50 is executed first. For that, what we are using? We are using a keyword called priority. Clear? That is the priority. You can use priority order. Observe here. That is a priority order. And here, if I don't want to execute one test case from this class, I can skip the test case. If I don't want to execute the test cases from one class, I can skip the test cases by the time of execution by using again a keyword called in TestNG. We have a different keywords and different annotations. Again, we can apply keywords and we can apply different annotations. First, better to discuss all the annotations here. Let me remove this one. This is test case 1. So let me remove this priority order. This is test case 1, right? See here, before executing my test case, here I want to launch browser. Yes or no? Here I want to launch browser. After that, I have to quit my browser. This is my test case, right? This is the entire structure of my test case. First of all, launching browser. After that, test case. After that, quitting browser. This is my test case. Already you know it, right? So if I execute this one, first browser will launch, and after that, first test case will execute. After that, it will create a browser. Now let's consider what if I'm having a second test case here. This is test case 2. This is test case 2, and this is the code for test case 2. See here. Now, if I execute this time, first of all, first test case, right? So first of all, first test case, launching browser, test case code, and quitting browser. Second test case, launching browser, right? And before and that second test case code and then quitting browser. Here, I am maintaining duplicate code. Yes or no? See this one. This is a duplicate code. I am writing this same code again here. If I'm having third test case, again and again. So if I'm having 100 test cases, so I have to write browser launcher code in 100 methods. So like this, if I want to, if I don't want to maintain a duplicates, if I don't want to maintain duplicates, duplicate code here in TestNG, we have one more beautiful annotation. So for that, again, we have to take one more method, observe team. So if you want to use any annotations in TestNG, you can use for a methods, right? See, this is a method. This is before method or before test case. I can say before test case. So this method, in this method, I want to use my browser launcher code here only, in this method only. Now, this method I want to use before the every execution of the test case. For that, we have an annotation called before method. Before method from where? org testng annotations. Now observe this time I'm removing here also. Observe here. This is the before method annotation. So I want to execute this before method from before executing each and every text case. Observe here. Now this time execute. Observe the difference. See, launching browser, test case executed, hitting browser, launching browser again. This launching browser coming from where? Coming from before method. Before executing my second test case code, here the program testng launching browser. So when we will go for a before method team, if you want to execute a piece of code before executing a particular method, so maintain that separate code into a before method. So before method will execute. So before of your every test case. What is that annotation team? Before method. Before method will execute where? Before method will execute for before your test case. Suppose if I am having a 100 test case, so before method will execute how many number of times team? If I am having a 100 test case, so if I maintain before method annotation, before method this particular method will execute how many number of times? Anyone? Give me in chat. Okay, answer. Okay, and here this is the use of before method. So like before method, even we are having after method. Like before method, even we are having after method. There is an annotation called after method. Imported from where? ORG testing annotation. Now this time use this code whatever you want to use after your method execution. This is after method, after test case. 18. Now let me remove this duplicate from this test case from and again second test case. Here now in my test case I am having only specific code to that particular test case. Now this time I don't want to launch browser, I don't want to quit browser because I am using before method, I am using after method. Observe team. Observe, let me execute. My execution completed. We'll see the output. Okay, launching browser, test case 1. Quitting browser and then launching browser. And test case 2, quit browser. You have to maintain your test case unit team. For each and every test case, you have to launch browser. For each and every test case, you have to quit browser. Here, like this, I'm having only single method with before method annotation. I'm having single method with after method annotation. Like this, if I'm having 100 test cases, if I'm having 100 test cases, how many number of times this before method and after method will execute? I know the number. In a class, I am having 100 test cases. I am having a before method and after method. If I am having before method and after method, how many number of times this before method and after method will execute? Come on, quickly, anyone. Just give me a number. Simple logic team. See, I'm having two test cases. If I'm having two test cases, my before method and after method executed how many times? Here, launching browser one time, before method, launching browser one time, second time, quitting method one time. This is second time. So, how many number of test cases you have in a class? Is before method and after method will execute that many number of test cases. If I am having 100 test cases, my before method, single method will execute 100 times. If I am having 100 test cases, my after method will execute 100 times. Clear team? That is about before method annotation. So like this, even you are having a one more annotation in test-ng. For that, again we have to apply for a method only. This is before class. Before class, just dummy statements not to print them before class. Now this time use annotation what team? Before class, right? And now copy this method and paste it to somewhere and give this one. Again, we have a after class. After class from where? After class from testing. You can maintain in anywhere team. So you do no need to mention end of the class, no need to mention starting of the class. You can maintain anywhere by using your test ng. Test ng will consider. So this is the annotation before method. It has to execute each and every test case, right? So this is after class. Let me give a dummy statement here. After class. Let me execute. Observe here thing. Observe the execution. Observe the execution. Before class, before method, test case, fitting closure, after method. Again, before method, not before class. Before method. Before method, test case, after method, after class. After class, before class and after class will execute for each and every class once, and before method will execute for each and every before of the method, after a method will execute for each and every after method. Clear team? That's what about the annotations of at the test. What else we are discussed team? So annotations we discussed at the test, right? So at the rate before method, right? And at the rate after method, at the rate before class, at the rate after class. And execution order also you can mention like this team execution order. Execution order, if you want to give the execution order, I have to give like this. So before method for before each and every test case like this. After that, after method. So before, if you are having a before class, before method will execute before class. After that, after class. This is the execution order team. And if you want to convey one test case, one method into test case, you have to use at that test. Clear?